As I grow older, it becomes more difficult for me to find time to play through the games I used to frequent as a kid. But I realize I don't have to. Today, we're talking music. And as I get older, memorabilia through sound design is such a cool thing to me. For example, I don't need to physically look at a game to know that when I hear this, it's Crash Bandicoot. And that's the power of sound design. I don't really need to play or look at a certain game to know that a certain game is from. And this even links back to like when I listen to a lot of new rap music nowadays actually, and I'll hear like Kingdom Hearts sounds from these songs. And I know their producers are weeb. But to the same extent, that kind of stuff is cool. And it's interesting to see how sound design has developed not only in its purpose but also its implementation. For example, in the past, good sound design sounded like this.
Woo! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! Yahoo! Ha-ha!
Where sound design gets more interesting for gaming is by promoting a positive narrative for whatever action you're doing. One such example is this.
Yo, you think it's worth using my ult right now?
Enemy kill.
To be honest.
I don't even know, like...
Duck. Three.
One enemy remaining.
Four.
Where is he? Let me get the ace, let me get the ace.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Let's go! And it's not necessarily a polarizing point to say that Valorant has good sound design, but when I do, I'm not talking about the footsteps, I'm talking about the ace. In the sense that it fuels you with dopamine. Once you hear the sound once, you want to hear it again. Because in actuality, it's a 5-note that plays repetitively and that stops depending on what notes you start at. Think of it as A, B, C, D, E. Like you're playing on a... Or, let's get... let's get real musical here. And think about it as playing a piano. C, D, E, F, G. When you get 1 kill, C. When you get 2 kills, D plays. If you die there, you don't get to hear E, F, G. So the game is slowly programming you to want to play the game more and want to keep hearing C, D, E, F, G. And when you fail short of it, you know you're doing something wrong. This is good sound design because while it's also intuitive in giving the players dopamine when they get a kill, it's also smart because it slowly teaches them what are good habits to getting a kill. And it doesn't just end at Valorant. Fortnite, when you knock somebody. Apex, when you crack somebody's shields. These sounds are all made to give you a positive reinforcement to tell you that, hey, you're doing a good job. Keep doing it. And in old games, we all know the clear points of sound design, like a stage clear. When you're playing Kirby and you hear that theme, you know you did something good. Same thing with Castlevania, Mario, and Sonic. But I want to talk about a more nuanced part of game design, something that you actually hear when you actually play the game. And for that, we're going to need to go back. When games began to get bigger, there needed to be some kind of in-game thing to help players not get lost, to make them feel like they're still playing games and not just trying to solve a map the entire time. And a lot of games turn towards dialogue boxes. If you even look in Nier, which came out, which even got remastered now, there are huge dialogue dumps in that game. In any game, really. This is the solution at the time. And even if it's not dialogue dumps, it's long cutscenes that really leave you looking at a game more than you play it. This has always been boring to me, even when I was a kid. Which is why I gravitated to Kingdom Hearts 2 the way I did, because you could skip cutscenes in that game. And in the past, sound design was used so well. Whether it be Mario's triple jump or Sonic's spin dash, all these things relate to you, and you have a sense of not only knowing exactly what image pops up in your head, but also a sense of, damn, that felt good to do. I like how that sounds. I like how that feels to do. That being said, that is absent from a lot of games today. I'm not really here to argue that games should use more sounds to put dopamine in you, because that's kind of scary. From MOBAs, the match ready sound, that making people happy, like, it's kind of scary to see how much time people put into games just based off of sound design alone. And I know you're not going to sit here and tell me that your friend or you played Fortnite for 8 seasons, combined 500 hours because of a sound, but once you internalize it, that is a big reason for why you play the game. But on the other hand, look at fighting games. Tekken 7. You hear an electric? Oh yeah! It sounds good. And you can instantly tell just from the sound alone that move is different. And think about how it helps you. On a level of trying to figure out what move you just got hit with, on a level of trying to identify the move to maybe learn patterns in your opponent, or just to have fun. Niggas like how that shit sounds. However, other fighting games don't have the same luxury. The sounds in Street Fighter V feel like filler sounds. It feels like they're there to tell you, and that's it. Shoryuken, he only says Shoryuken when he does it because that's what it's there for. Seth only says Mad Cradle when he DPs because that's what the move is called. I don't feel like a lot of these moves have that twinge, that sound effect, coupled with them saying whatever to make you care about the move. And some of them are just bad sounding, like Chun-Li's Wake Up DP. That shit is ass, but you know. But at the same time, sound design can be kind of dangerous sometimes. But imagine like eventually getting to one point where if you play a game for less than 10 minutes, they tell you, oh, come on, one more hour. You see how that would kind of be a problem? Anyway, I'm kind of done talking about sound design. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts on sound design. What are your favorite sounds from your childhood that you remember? Or even from games you've played recently that you like?